It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in Catalonia for today's qualifying session for the Spanish Grand Prix. Spain is one of those tracks that can create unexpected results, so it's very difficult to know who might be strong here in today's qualifying.
If you can put together an efficient package with a good compromise between downforce and straight line speed, you can catch the other teams out here, just like Pastor Maldonado did back in 2012. Ferrari have a good track record at this circuit, but my money is on Mercedes to have a strong qualifying session here today.
It's been a mighty qualifying performance from Mercedes today, with both cars on the front row for the race tomorrow.
They're going to be unstoppable in the race tomorrow. That's if they can stay 1-2 by the end of the first corner, as there are some fast starters behind them.
Good afternoon and welcome to Catalonia, home of the Spanish Grand Prix. The cars are on the grid and the crowd's excitement is building ahead of lights out. Lewis Hamilton, rather unsurprisingly, was fastest in qualifying yesterday. The key now is to make sure he builds a big enough gap over the first 2 laps to keep the other cars behind him and out of DRS range.
After yesterday's qualifying performance, I think he has every chance of going on to win today. He really was a cut above the rest of the field, and if he brings the same level of speed, he shouldn't have any problems winning the race.
How does Nico Rosberg go about finding the time he was lacking at the end of qualifying in today's race?
Well, he's got to stay within touching distance of the lead during the first stint, and then look to capitalise as the car becomes lighter and the tyre degradation eases.
Let's be patient going into turn 1. We want to be in a good position for the rest of the race. Good luck.
It's a win for Mercedes and a win for Lewis Hamilton. The British driver was the class of the field today and fully deserves his victory.
It was a brilliant performance, and when you drive like that, the feeling of winning is even sweeter.
It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time though, goodbye. Here we are at one of the most difficult circuits on the racing calendar. Welcome to Monaco for today's Formula One qualifying. Qualifying will determine who'll sit on pole at this iconic track. These next few minutes could determine tomorrow's race result as well before it even starts. The driver on pole will be best placed to win the race, considering how difficult it is to overtake here.
Exactly. To be in with a decent chance of winning here, you need to be on the front row. Even a few places further back on the grid, and you've got to rely on a bit of good luck to come your way, as overtaking opportunities are very limited.
Fantastic qualifying result from Nico Rosberg, and a performance which should see him targeting now a race win tomorrow.
When a driver puts together a lap like that, you have to say their confidence is going to be very high going into the race tomorrow.
Welcome to one of the most iconic race circuits on the Formula One calendar. It's Monaco, the playground of the rich and famous. Nico Rosberg is going to be feeling particularly confident about winning today's race, as he'll be starting from pole position in arguably one of the better cars Mercedes has made in recent seasons.
Anything can happen on race day. A poor start, a mechanical issue, the weather being unpredictable, or just the fact another driver has a better performance. So whilst he's definitely hoping for the race win, he knows his name isn't written on the trophy just yet.
Just what do you think will be going through Fernando Alonso's head as he watches now how well Ferrari are doing this year?
Fernando left Ferrari as he didn't believe they'd be able to offer him the opportunity to win that third world title. If he knew this form was around the corner, I dare say he would have stayed put.
Silly into one. It's going to be crazy in there. Just do your best to stay out of trouble.
What a win for Nico Rosberg today. A really strong drive from the German, and he's brought his Mercedes home in first place. He looked very happy with his day's work as he celebrated up there on the podium.
Indeed, they'll be ecstatic with that result, and they should be. It was a fantastic drive.
After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.